But first, coffee.
So, yeah. See, brain's not functioning. We gotta get sustenance. So we're off to do some shopping. Good morning.
Quarter mile. Turn right.
Keep talking. She won't talk long enough for me to mute her. Go figure.
But first, coffee.
So, yeah. See, brain's not functioning. We gotta get sustenance. So, first stop, Starbucks to get some coffee. Great, I'm not sure I'm into coffee. Might get a tea. No. Coffee.
I suggest you go to that side.
Why? Not this way?
No, because
Turn right.
Oh.
there's people. You see?
Head south.
Come on, keep talking. It's like I only need the map. I don't need her to talk. But anyway. So we are off to do some... Whoa. Truck headed backwards. Well, now I know why that truck was in such a hurry to get around us. All right. So we're headed off to do some shopping. And we are trying to look...
Head north.
Thought I muted you. Guess not. Looking at a couple options. Because as you all know, we demolished. Well, the children demolished. And you know, that's one of the things I did not take footage of. The children demolishing the countertops. That's how they got those blisters that they were complaining about.
I have footage of that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, so we do have footage of our children getting to work out their frustrations on the old countertops. You know, we maybe should have kept those countertops till we were 100% sure what we were doing.
Countertops? What countertops?
Nah. We demolished them. So we don't have a choice. We got to get new countertops. No option but new. Kept the cabinets, because I really don't want to rebuild the cabinets. But most certainly going to look into some new countertops and see what we can do. So we're going to hit a couple places today. And we are focusing today on countertops. But, really? Y'all see this, right? All day, every day. You would think she was meant for this lifestyle on camera. So yeah, so we are going to hit some counter places and, excuse me, probably not actually hit counter places, more or less hit a counter place to look at all the different options and stuff, pick a particular exact material that we're wanting to work with, and then that way we can just call around to do price checking on that because we already know our measurements. So we just need to find for sure exactly what material we're going to work with. But to see the colors and everything else, you got to get hands-on with it. And then try to find a bathroom place, bathroom, kitchen place or whatever, to figure out this bathroom situation. Y'all saw that demo. I have a couple ideas. I haven't came up with a couple new ideas. Haven't run them past Mom over here yet. But I still have parts that we got to figure out. And then try to find a flooring place because we need to come up with our final full solution on what we're going to do with the floor. So we're going to hit a couple places today and y'all are coming for the journey. And this is a scary venture. I am not going to lie. I am terrified
Why?
of all of this stuff that we're doing. Because we gutted the whole RV at once.
It's not that scary, baby.
It's an empty RV. Now we got to put it back together. I'm not sure what's going to be more fun. The tearing apart or the putting back together. You know, the funny thing is, the children were complaining about the blisters they got while we took everything apart. But I think they need to be more scared about the blisters they're going to get as we put it together. I have a feeling
That's
that
the funny part. That's the funny part.
but see, I have a feeling that our children are going to injure themselves more. I have a prediction. Our children are going to injure themselves more as we put everything back together than they did taking it apart.
You think?
I think.
I think we're gonna have so much fun.
Because I think the thing is, the more the children get into this and they get excited with it is when they rush and they don't pay attention to what they're doing. And that's when they get injured. Like they weren't paying attention to what they were doing and they weren't listening. And that's how they got injured in the RV doing demolition. Now that the Starbucks is ordered and we're sitting in line here. So yeah, every time the children get excited and they get into the project, they get hurt because they get careless. So I think as all of our excitements increase.
But I think they're gonna have fun.
I didn't say they weren't going to have fun.
Right.
My prediction is just that they're going to get injured more than they did during the demolition. Because honestly, all the demolition's not done yet.
No, the funny part is gonna be everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to pay. And everybody wants to like, I want to do this. I want to do that. Let me help. Let me help. Let me help. And these two are gonna get overwhelmed. But it's gonna be fun. For sure.
Yeah, because we're going to be teaching and showing and explaining and yeah, we'll get overwhelmed because they'll be standing there waiting for instructions or demonstrations on how to do this stuff, but it's okay.
So that means that I have to do a trip to the store and grab some alcohol, Band-Aids.
What kind of alcohol?
And some...
Oh, you mean the kind that you don't drink, the kind you put on your skin. Oh, my bad.
Our first aid kit. So we're ready for the fun and the injuries.
Should we stock up on energy drinks too? For when they start to
that's-
say, I'm tired.
that's for sure.
I'm tired. I'm hot. And guess what? We're in the fall now. It's cooling off. We could have.
Yes, it is
We
funny.
could have wanted to, but couldn't really work on it at the time. Started all this stuff in the heat of the summer. Everything started to cool off now. Heck, it is currently a nice, lovely 64 degrees this morning. And it's already after 10. So, this is a lovely day.
Yes, especially for shopping.
So now, I know, right? Even though there's a couple clouds in the sky,
And it was sprinkled.
I
when,
see a
when
couple
we,
driplets. A couple driplets. They're not droplets. They're driplets on the windshield. So, hang on one moment, please. All right. So now that we got our drinks in here, now to follow the directions. Oh, I almost want to go over there.
Where? Shipley's. There's another one.
Shh, don't help me. Well, you got your cheese Danish, and you know how much I love and enjoy my breakfast sandwiches from Starbucks, but man, they're just so expensive. To me, it's just, I gotta be in a really mood to splurge myself to pay
Oh
for
my
that.
God, this one didn't.
Why are you trying to take? Leave the white stuff alone. She has a problem.
Mm-hmm.
She likes the white stuff. Baby, you're all up on camera getting all up in it. If she thinks I won't post this, I will.
No.
Oh, yes, I will. Heck, I might post this raw, unedited, the moment I hit stop.
The best way.
Oh my goodness. What?
It's right there by Windsport.
She's a bad influence. Bad influence. Really isn't helping. So anyway, what are we doing today? What are we talking about today? Where are we going today? We're going on an adventure.
We're going. Remember, countertops,
Uh-huh.
flooring,
Yeah-huh.
and the bathroom.
Absolutely. And hoping to have some finalized decisions today so that we can know exactly what materials we're wanting so that then we can spend this next week calling around, getting the price quotes to where that way we can get everything on order, get it in, to where we'll have those items sitting, waiting, because we have some other stuff that we have to tackle first. So next week is looking to be a very, very interesting week, depending upon how the weather plays out. But we'll see what happens here in the next couple days. Got a couple places, well, one in particular, waiting on callbacks to make some decisions and stuff and see what's going on, to work out a timeline, because, well, you just have to stick around for that. I'm not actually going into any further details. I'm excited for it. Mama's half excited for it.
Ah,
She's not excited for what my preferred method is. She doesn't agree with my preferred method. She would rather us do it ourselves on it, but I'm trying to consider for warranties and issues, and just, it's like one of the most critical things of out of everything, and I really don't want to have to worry about it. So we are going to DIY the majority of it all.
baby, look.
What? What am I looking at?
On my surface, it says marble, granite, and quartz.
Oh. Well, you just say look, and I'm like, what? The guy walking? The Sonics? I don't know. She just says look. But anyway, you know, I don't want to have to worry about this one item. But we're going to DIY, like, probably technically like 50% at least of the work. But then the part that really matters, going to outsource for that one. Like I said, she would rather us do the whole thing ourselves. And I feel confident that, yeah, we could get the job done. But I want to be worry-free on this particular issue. Everything else, I think, once we do it, it's all going to be worry-free anyway. But this one particular one is just, it's such a critical item that I don't want to have to question or guess or anything like that. So we're going to see what happens. Because it's not a guaranteed thing. I have hopes that this works out and this arrangement can work out, but we're going to see what happens. So, what else you want to talk about today, babe? I just feel like talking today. I don't know. I almost feel like I should have figured to go live on this one right now. but I still haven't totally figured that one out all the way. Got to talk to a couple more friends, do some more research, so that on some of these random drives like this, we can actually be giving you all some random updates and talks and whatnot without really a whole much. No, I gotta stay right here. Oh, that's an option for the one situation. I guess almost, if you would have pointed it out sooner, we could have just gone now. I gotta pick on her. But anyway, so
I don't know how you forget that was there.
I'm not paying attention to it. I'm paying attention to the road and the map.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even. But anyway. Oh, so something else that you wanted to bring up. The fact is, the shirts. We've got our Dream on Wheels shirts on, and Mother makes them over here. She makes them herself. And they are available. Now, we are going to probably eventually be working out a mass production type deal. But right now, they are all in-house, handmade. And we're definitely doing them for like any of anybody who sets up for the memberships and things like that along the way. We are definitely wanting to, no matter what, continue to do those ones handmade, and they are going to be unique. There is a slightly different colorations for the handmades versus what the mass productions will be, just because of materials that are available. But yeah, so we're going to get out here, and probably going to go ahead and cut off for the moment. And we're going to see you when we hit the store. We'll see what store we hit first, all right? So stay tuned. Keep watching. It's going to be a fun shopping day. Have fun. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so a little bit of an update.
Here we go.
You know, there's a lot of choices out there.
First of all,
So
I'm hungry. And this...
So we've been to 3 places so far. And the first place, yeah, the first place really gave us more a beginning color scheme for the counters. But then we went to the second place, and the color scheme drastically changed on the counters. Just saying. Now we're just got done at a third location that, while it may not be able to handle one solution, it could handle another for the flooring. But the second location was going to take care of the countertops and the flooring. So now we have some serious thinking to do. 1, which materials we liked better. 2, where did we like better? 3, what's going to be the overall best value for our money? You know, because there's not a budget, but there is a budget. You know how that works. Like, your piggy bank says there's a budget.
There's a budget.
But you try to not think of a budget because you don't want to exclude any possibilities when you're working on the project necessarily.
Or get overwhelmed because of the budget.
Yeah, or get overwhelmed because of the budget. You walk in somewhere and you go, yeah, here's my budget. And they go, yeah, sorry, we can't do that.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear, yeah, we can't do that. I want to, okay, here's what I'm working on. Here's my dimensions. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how much material I need. What's going to be the price for that? What color options do you have available? That's what I want. I don't want to walk in and tell them, well, here's my budget, and then they don't show me a particular pattern or material because, you know, they are worried that I'm going to say, nope, you can't handle that, you know.
sometimes when you give them a budget, they try to put you in the line border of that budget. And if we have so many things inside the RV that we wanted to do, that we have to like go under that a little bit so we can do the other stuff that we need to do around the RV.
Right. Like, I mean, obviously each area has its own little budget within itself. Okay. But at the same time, okay, well, maybe if you only stick to that for that area strictly, then when you're shopping for the items, you might exclude some things that, hey, you might have already seen for one of your other projects, the items are less than what your budget was. But if you're strictly going to keep sticking yourself to a strict budget per project, well, then you work on that next project, especially when you're shopping for them all at once. You know, because you could be like, well, I have two options over here for this project. One is just right at budget and the other is under budget. And then for over here, you know, you find, well, here's this one that's just at budget, or there's this option that's just over budget. And if you combine them all together, they balance out. But if you stick to that strictly that budget when you're discussing with everybody what you're doing, then they're going to not show you that other option that you actually might like doing the mix match versus what your original set budget was. And that's where you can end up clouding your dreams because you end up settling. Now, yes, I mean, let's be realistic. Life has to function on a budget. You have to have some kind of budget. You have to stay within your means, okay? Yes, you still can follow your dreams no matter what. You can still do and reach for them and make it happen. But you do have to be realistic and knowing that there's only so much you can do at one time, okay? So if you can't tackle the entire project at once like what we are at the moment, which, yeah. We're not going to go back on that topic, okay? We're not going to go back on that discussion. But, you know, if you got to do it baby step by baby step in order to make sure that you follow your dream and you do what you want to get out there and do and live this life. You want to get out there and live this life. Then you do what you have to do. But when you're discussing with somebody, you know, when you're needing to discuss with a vendor about materials especially, don't limit yourself on telling them you have a budget. Exactly. Because here's the thing. Here's the other thing. When you also do that, yeah, I know, I got another thing, right? I mean, I feel like the boy right now when we had our 40 questions, he starts counting his options.
Wait, remember, you are dealing with people doing this business every day. That's their business. That's right. The main source of income for them. So they don't gonna think about, oh, they have to, you know, lower here to put it there, and well, yeah,
there's that, but that wasn't even what I was gonna refer to.
I know, but they playing smart with you,
right?
For their benefit,
right?
Not for your benefit, it's for their benefit,
right?
So you have to be smarter than them. You know, that's why we go and no. We don't gonna stick to the budget that we have for this project because we want to see all the options and open our options and say, hey, so we tackled that.
Well, here's
lower price, and we got all this little change for the other projects that we want to.
Well, but on top of that, here's the other thing: is when you're going out to shop for these items, your first thing that you want to do is you're trying to decide for sure what material you want to use and what look you want to have. And if you're telling them a budget, then you may exclude a material that because of what they charge for fabrication, if you're not able to fabricate it yourself or if you're not able to install it yourself, you have to have somebody fabricate it. You have to have somebody install it. Well, that's an extra charge, but everywhere charges different for their work, okay? And you can get just as good of work at one place as you can as another for sometimes way less. And it just depends upon whether you're going to a bigger place or an individual worker who has been doing this stuff for years, but finally went and branched out on their own. Now, so the thing is, when you're shopping around, you don't shop around, you're not shopping around just for what they're going to charge to do it. You're shopping around for that look, and you want that look. You know, once you have that image in your head, that's part of your dream. You have that image of what you want to accomplish and what you want it to be, because you're the one that's got to live in this.
Exactly.
They're not the ones living in it. You got to live in it. And let's face it, we're in tiny homes. So that means we're going to see it even more. While our tiny home may get us all across the country and everything else, you're still there all the time. Okay? So you have to be the one to look at it. So you have to be happy with the results that you get out of this. So your first thing is you're shopping for a look. So that means you're picking exactly what kind of material you want, the exact colorations that you want. That's what you're shopping for, to see what is those materials going to cost you to begin with to get that look, okay? So once you know what that look for sure is, after you've shopped around at a couple places and you get a couple different price quotes on, oh, well, this look is going to be this or this look's going to be that, and you have that image in your head finally of what you want, well, that's when you can finally call around and you go, okay, here's the material I want. Here's the look I want. What are you going to charge me to do it? This is if you can't do the install work and you can't do the fabrication, then you have your exact measurements, your exact material, and all you got to do is call everywhere at that point and say, here's what I got. Here's what I need. How much are you going to charge to make this happen? Okay? Because a lot of these places, these samples, different places put different samples up as their prized ones that they showcase. Okay, they may have, 7 different places are going to have the same exact materials, but different ones are going to showcase different brands and different colors based upon the deals that they have with their vendors. Okay, so that's why you go around, you find that look that you want, you find that material that you want, and then you can call around and just say, you can sit at home and call around and go, okay, I need this material and these measurements cut to this specification. How much is it going to cost me from you?
Okay. Now, I want to reassure just what you said about don't settle for the first place that you go for your options. Keep looking, keep looking. Keep looking, keep searching. The second thing you have to put in mind that we are trying to DIY
as much as we can.
As possible.
As much as we can.
Because the handwork for other to come and do the stuff for you is expensive.
Right, but at the same time, here's the thing. Where it comes in with the DIY also, it's going to come to what tools you have available. Exactly. Okay? Because some of these fabrications, like there's some of these things that if I had the tools, like if we were to go with a granite countertop, if I had the tools, I could do the work. Okay? I do have the knowledge. I do have the ability, but I don't have the tools. And some of those special tools to do certain projects can cost several hundred to several thousands of dollars for those specialized tools. So if you have to then also buy the tools, well, then that also changes it. That's why sometimes for some of us out there, there are things where you make the purchase of the materials and then, yes, you have to buy somebody to do the fabricating or to do the install for you because you just don't have those tools. And when you weigh all of the costs out, it's sometimes better to just have somebody else to do it for you. Now, we do have a lot of tools, and I do have a lot of tools to be able to use.
And a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things that I still cannot do because I don't have the equipment. And I have to accept that fact that there's some things I do have to outsource for, okay? And so you have to take that into consideration as well when you take on a DIY project. What do you have? It's not just about the knowledge, because you can gain the knowledge thanks to the world of internet and the libraries and everything else and all that's out there. You can find the knowledge, okay? But how much time do you have available? Do you have the place to do the work? And do you have the tools? That's one of the biggest things. Do you have the tools?
And after that, even if we want to do it DIY, we have to be realistic and say, I can tackle that. If you feel that you cannot tackle that project because there's something that you say no, and the more that you search and research for that type of project, you say, no, I don't feel comfortable. Don't waste material, because what happens if at the middle of the project you say, I don't know what to do? So make a research, say, I'm comfortable doing this by myself. But if it's something else that you say, I'm not comfortable with, so don't do it. Try to search.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to have to reach out,
Help.
for a friend's help or to hire somebody professional. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let the fact that you might need to do that stop you from tackling your dreams.
Exactly. Because the next project, you're going to say, hey, I can do this. Let's do it.
And that's the other thing is, from when if you have to hire somebody in to do a certain thing, hang around. Watch them do the work. Because you're not just like spying on the check to see how they're doing. You're learning. Mm-hmm. See it done. Sometimes seeing things done in firsthand, watching it for your own eyes versus watching it through a video. Sometimes, because then you see their struggles and everything else, and you see how they, tackle this or change this and everything else. Then you learn for yourself on how to do this stuff. Because really, there's no reason why you can't, for the most part, be able to do most of the stuff yourself. The real limitations comes to the tools. Mm-hmm. Do you have the tools and do you have the time? Okay? Your time and the tools. That's your biggest things that are going to have to determine whether you're able to do the stuff yourself or if you have to outsource. But always, like I said, it never hurts to shop around. Find the materials that you're wanting. Once you find that actual for sure item of material you want, then you call around and you say, hey, here's my project. GoPro decided to turn off because I didn't tell it to do anything. Because we ended up sitting here longer than I thought. But anyway, that's when you're able to say, hey, what can you do this for me? What are you going to charge me for this? Then you shop around.
Shop around. And
you don't have to take the cheapest person. You may not get the cheapest person, the most expensive person, but you got to find who is going to be right for you.
For your needs. Exactly. Don't let them to push you to do something that you are not comfortable with. Because, and then say, but I don't want to pay. I don't want to be in a pain in the butt. It's not pain in the butt. That's your dream. That's your vision. That's your house. That is your stuff. Because they wanted to try to get into something that is, it's pretty nice. Because they're gonna say, this looks so cute, and you say, yeah.
And you know what? And every time they're doing that, they're trying to upsell you.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it is your house, it is your dream, it is your vision. So don't let nobody to drag you and do something else. Because then you say, I end up with something more expensive.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't look at it. Because
exactly.
Especially when you're actually at these showrooms and, and everything, and you're looking at the materials for yourself, it doesn't mean you can't look at it. Because you might suddenly, when you see it in person, go, wow, that is the look I want instead. That is much better than what I had going. Because here's the thing, all of these materials, they look way different in person than they do on the pictures on the internet. Okay? So that's why you have to get out there, pound the pavement, do the research, gain the knowledge, don't be afraid. Ask about the products. Ask about it. Ask the weight. Ask the dimensions, the thickness, the whole 9 yards. Okay? Because you need to know. Because some materials are strong enough that when they're put to a thinner thing, they will suddenly work better than some of the older materials did. Okay, that's one of the things like that we're looking at with our old RV. My countertops are like this thick. I kid you not. Okay, but that's a lot of wood. Now it was all compressed and particleized and everything else, but those countertops were very, very heavy. So when we take them out. Part of why I am actually engaging the ideas of some of these stone or faux stone things because you're only looking like this thick. And some of those things that are that thick are actually just as heavy as what the old material was.
Yeah.
So if the old material is just as heavy as the new material, okay, so I could get something that's way nicer, that's the exact look I want, for the same weight. I'm not gaining weight. I'm not adding weight to the RV. I might even be losing weight depending upon how it's done and depending upon the material that's actually chosen now versus 20 years ago. Now, if you're talking, you know, the difference between an RV that was made 5 years ago or 6 years ago versus today, may not be as huge of a weight difference. But for like with ours, where you're talking over 20 years, that's a big difference in materials and technology that was available between now and then. Huge difference.
For us, the weight is something that we wanted to balance. Just because we got 4 kids, we got
right. We got 4 kids that are gonna be full time.
We're gonna be towing one of our cars, and in our journey and our adventure, we're gonna pick up some other kids. So we want to look at the weight just because of that. Maybe your situation is different because it's just you and your partner, or it's
you're
just
alone.
you. So you got different. You got more room to play with the weight and everything else.
Right. No, that's part of one of the reasons, like with the changing out of our stove. You know, y'all saw the stove went out the door, I don't even think it sat on the side of the street for 15 minutes before the guy came by, our little neighborhood scrapper, and he snatched it right up. But, you know, the newer stove, you know, that old stove was beat to hell. It'd been through hell. It already been through hell before I even got it. And to the point where I knew I was going to have to replace it. So I didn't do a lot of the maintenance keep up and trying to refabric that I could have when I first got it. So it looked really worse after it sat for a minute when we parked it. But the thing is, that sucker, it had some good weight to it. You know, the metal and the sheet metal and stuff on it that was used and everything was pretty thick for back then compared to how some of them are manufactured now. Now, lighter is not always better when you're looking at materials manufactured now versus then, because some things manufactured now, if it's lighter, then that's sometimes a cheaper material and it's not made as well as what it would have been back then. But in this instance, the construction is basically just as admirable and everything else as what it was before, but it's going to be a lighter weight item. Okay. Now, I'm hungry. Mama's hungry. So
before we finish this, I wanted to tell you all, we are not professionals. We are doing this day by day.
What do you mean we're not professionals? I'm a professional.
We are learning.
Professional procrastinator.
We are learning through this process. And if someone of you want to like reach out and say, I have this question, I have this concern, we are more than welcome to show our experience with you. And if we have the knowledge and we have the answer for your question, we are more than welcome to answer to you back. So never doubt to make a comment and say, hey, I need help with this. Can you guys, we're always going to be available to answer you back. If we got the knowledge, we're going to share with you. If we don't have, we're going to try to research and say, this is what we found.
Or lead you to where we found our resource answers from as well. You know, I mean, that's the other thing. In this community, it's all about sharing and helping each other out.
That's what we wanted to do. We want to help others. Inspire others. We want to inspire, but we wanted to help as well. You know, if you don't got the research and I'm stuck, Travis and I, we are stuck and we are overwhelmed. Is okay. We get overwhelmed as well. In the last project, somebody here get overwhelmed and say, "Oh, what we gonna do?" No,
it wasn't quite that dramatic.
Yes, you were. But
I want video proof.
Yeah, I think I got the video proof. But it is okay to get overwhelmed. It is okay to ask for help. And it is okay to reach out to us and say, hey, I need help with this. If we wanted to do it, we want to make it happen, we can make it happen. For us, it's a plus, you know? So.
Because the other thing is, dude, I mean, if we're in the area, Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yes. So
That's
now,
the thing. Hit us up.
yeah,
Because if we're in the area, like especially once we hit the road, if we're in the area, we'll swing by. Help you out. I don't
we
care.
want to make that's the point. We want to get out and make as many friends as we can. We want to learn from others' experiences. We are making this for you to learn, but we want to learn about others' experiences too, for other people as well, you know. And we want to know other people, and maybe they're gonna learn something from us, but we're gonna learn something from them. So yes. So now
Absolutely.
we are hungry and we're gonna eat something and keep looking for other stuff, okay?
Laters. Okay, so if you all haven't noticed, it is now dark on us.
Yeah. We're so
A-
tired.
As you know, we started out this morning with coffee, and we were going home at dark and time for dinner. So, unfortunately, the lighting in here stinks, but it's really just because I have the nice big moonroof. So, my lighting placement is not so good. But anyway, so we made a couple stops. We did a couple things. We ended up going ahead and finalizing a couple items. And so on one project alone, our original rough items were somewhere over $700. We ended up settling on a solution and lucked into a location, which you get all the details better later. But we lucked into a solution and a location that was having a clearance on the particular coloration that we needed. So it worked out for us because we walked out the door at $411. So there's an over $300 savings today. Then we hit another location on another project. And after numerous times of not even being offered certain things and being told certain things couldn't be done, we ended up deciding we had to go with a method that we really didn't want to do. I was hoping to do something newer and lighter and everything, but we're basically going to go with a similar setup to what was already there, but we are going to now instead be a coloration that's going to match for us. There was damage to the old materials anyway, so they need to be replaced regardless. So we're replacing, we're getting new, and we haven't even got the quote back on the one that we're gonna possibly be waiting on, but I have a ballpark idea it was gonna run about $1,500. Then we ended up at another location that did a price quote of roughly $670. And then we hit a third location. Somebody didn't necessarily want to go. She was ready to come home and said, "Oh, we'll just go tomorrow." But we went and we talked to somebody, and probably the only reason we really lucked out is because the department we were asking about was not even technically her department. The other people were out on vacation. So she just started throwing out all the random things that she could think of that might be able to work for us that they had available. And by doing so, threw out an idea that takes us from the $1,500 to the $650 to the $670 down to possibly only $200.
So we got a
Now the thing is, it's actually probably gonna be closer to $250, maybe $300, actually, in all honesty, because there's some extra things that I have to get because I'm gonna end up doing it myself. But either way,
It's $300 less from the last place that we.
You're still talking, once again, almost $400, almost or over $400 in savings again. So today, moral of the story is, follow your dreams. Keep that vision. Like we told you earlier, keep an open mind. Have your vision, that look that you know or you think that you want, but keep an open mind to any avenues and options that get thrown out to you. And even though you're tired at the end of the day, you just want to go home. If it's just right next door, hit that one more stop. That might be your bonus round.
Yep.
Because for us, it was definitely the bonus round.
Yeah.
So we literally today saved $800.
It means Mama can do
Right
more
off the
stuff.
bat. No.
Yes.
That's $800 more to my project.
It's half and half, remember?
Fine. 400 for you, 400 for me. But the other thing is I got to show Mama a couple other items that I had been thinking on for usage that also save us on a couple other projects as well. And so far, Mama's for them. So, I'm tired.
I'm tired and hungry again.
And we're hungry. And the children, we also learned today,
Our children doesn't love us.
our children do not love us. They called us after we had been
To
gone
the best store.
for 11 hours before they finally called us to say, are you alive? Are you coming home? Didn't care. I think I'm turning off my follow me. I'm turning off my GPS next time we go somewhere. And you should turn off yours.
Anyway, we got a super
I think they
pretty,
cheat and follow us on GPS, and that's why they don't care.
wonderful, productive day.
Uh-huh. Now tomorrow,
Recommendation, our recommendation is don't settle up for the first
don't
store
take the
that-
first stop.
No. Keep looking until you.
I mean, unless you've already done enough research that when you
Yeah.
get to that first stop, they just throw you out the perfect option, and it's just that
That's
it's
the
down
perfect fit for
dead
you, yeah.
hard. It's for you. But look around.
There's
You're rebuilding your home. You're fixing your home. You're working on your home where you are going to live. Or even if you're just thinking about it and you want to entertain it, don't just look at one place. Don't just check one place out. Talk to several different salespeople and manufacturers at a couple different places because you don't know what's out there until you see them. Because just looking online doesn't show you everything.
exactly.
It doesn't.
So
We love all y'all.
yes,
So you need to be sure to hit the subscribes,
like the video.
hit those shares. Stick around. We got a lot more to come.
Yep.
So from Dream on Wheels, good night.
Bye.